Hey, this is Chan for Different Skill, bringing you the deck profile you've all been waiting for, and the one that I've been so quote-unquote teasing you guys about. This is my Dauntless deck profile, with my little twist on it, and of course, the iconic red sleeves. Just a showboat. Alright, that's just a bunch of packs of red sleeves I have. Anyways, what are these? Oh, they're on the bottom. How'd that happen? I know those are on the top. Alright, so this deck is not the deck I'm using right now, but it was the deck that I thought of when I first came back to Vanguard. The deck I'm using now is a bit different. Well, it's a bit different with a bunch of little minor tweaks and changes to like some of the grades, some of the cards in each grade and whatnot. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. So let's move right on to this. This deck profile. Oops, this deck is Dauntless End with featuring, of course, Dauntless Drive and Dragonic Overlord The End, followed by Sealed 1-2, so Sealed Base, as I like to call it, where you play Sealed Dragons from 0, 1, and 2, because to use some of the better Seal cards. So I'll just begin right away. Of course, for Dauntless Drive Dragon, because Dauntless Drive is amazing. If this video comes out after my little talk about Link Joker, then yeah. So you guys know why this card is good. For those of you who still don't know what this badass does, Limit Break 4. He's a break ride. When you ride a Kagero over this unit, that unit gains plus 10,000, and at the end of the attack step, if this unit did not stand this turn, you may discard 3 cards to restand it, and it maintains Twin Drive. The second ability is if you have more rear guards than your opponent when you attack, plus 2k. So, very, very powerful card, especially with something like The End or other cards. But anyways, the other card is Dragonic Overlord The End. This guy came back to 4, so I have my playset, so here he is. Persona Blast, discard Dragonic Overlord The End, and you may restand him if he hits. So, very solid card. Not much to say about it. So, how many times have I went Dauntless into Dragonic Overlord The End, attack, stood, attack, stood, attack, stood? Not really, because if by then your opponent has lost already, so it doesn't really matter. Which is why I kind of don't like The End in that sense, because the only time you live the dream is if you've already won. But the upside to having Dauntless and The End is that if you have to ride the End first, your Vanguard is still quite a powerful card, but at the same time it's kind of hit or miss. So yeah, that's my grade 3 lineup. Pretty normal. This Ford Sealed Dragon 10k beaters. I have no idea what they're called, and I actually just don't know any of the Sealed Dragon names because they're very obscure. So as a 10k, it's very, very self-explanatory. The 10ks are quite good with all the powerful 9ks like Mobius Breath, Vivian, Blaster Blade boosted by Wingald Brave to search for the Majesty Lord Blasters and whatnot. So this is quite a good choice. So yeah, I have next 4 Sealed Dragon. I know this card's name. It's like, oh my god. Okay, never mind. It starts with a C. It's like Charmely or something. Anyways, so this is the main guy that I play Sealed Dragon for. He's a level 2, grade 2, 9k, with the ability when it enters the battlefield. I'm gonna say that for now on, just because I'm not used to switching between all the different games to switch the way they say it. So this is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. Magic would be when it enters the battlefield. And ZX would be when this card appears. So I'm just gonna say enters the battlefield because that makes sense. So when this card enters the battlefield, counterblast 1, destroy 1 card on your opponent's field. That's not the Vanguard. One rear guard, and your opponent looks at top 4 cards of their deck and plays a grade 2. Now, unlike when you actually are playing the blockade builds where you don't mind they have lots of grade 2s, this one is, I'm basically going hit or miss, saying, okay, I'm going to destroy your booster. If you don't get something, +1. If you do get something, it's a break even, but it's fine because your booster is no longer there. And if they have a full field and you snipe the one behind their Vanguard, it's basically always a +1, because what are they going to do? Unless it's like an Alfred, like the original Alfred, then I got nothing to say. So he's very good, very efficient, so I'm definitely playing 4 of him. And lastly, play 2 Berserk Dragon, mainly for like guaranteed that I can kill something. But normally I don't use Berserk Dragon very much, but it's just there because it's Berserk Dragon, so I play 2 of those. Moving on to grade 1s, I'm playing 3 Barri and 1 of the Seal Dragon Perfect Guards. I didn't feel like I needed to go the mile and get all 4 Seal Dragon Perfect Guards just because they are quite expensive, and since the only S special counterblast I need is for my grade 2 and it only costs 1, it's not very necessary to run that many of them anyways. So this is Seal Dragon K, so when your Vanguard is a Seal Dragon, he gains +3k when he attacks. I like this guy a lot because in grade 1-2 you can really lay down the beats. Just go like bam 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 bam, you drop them at around like 3-4, you ride Dauntless Drive, you get them to 4 or 5, and then you finish them off with a final blow. So very, very good. I'm not running Bar instead of playing him, just because from some testing with Amulet, I feel that he's a bit better. Another Seal Dragon dude. This is another reason why I'm playing Seal Dragon, actually. When this card enters the battlefield, if your opponent has a grade 2 or higher, I think, or just grade 2, I'm not sure, you can discard a card, draw a card. So I cycle a lot just to make sure that I have break rides always in check. So I go like search, find the grade 3s and just keep break riding, and that's generally how I win. But most of the time when I play them, I discard a card and get a draw trigger. It has happened so many times that I sometimes don't want to do it just to see if I get the draw trigger. 1 Aremo. I only need 1 because I have the greatest starter in the game, Conroe. So yeah, I go for Aremo like 99% of the games. Unless I open with it, then I can't go for Aremo. In that case, I normally go for Barri, or I just leave it there until I really need it. Unless they're playing a deck they can actually kill my my Conroe in the back, then yeah. Otherwise, I always get this guy. So very good. When your attack hits, discard a card, draw a card. Very powerful. 2 Kimnara. I just playing 2 because it gets kind of tight on the counterblast if I want to use like a Berserk Dragon, a Chamberlain, Conroe, and maybe even Dragonic Overlord The End. So I only need to play 2. Once again, if I really need it, I can search for it with Conroe. So in a matchup where I think that this card is very necessary, the only thing I'd say it would be like in a Snowgall matchup where this card is like great, but otherwise he's just there for utility. So I play 2 of him. Of course, Conroe. If you don't know what he does, then you're probably very new to Vanguard. And Counterblast 1, when you ride a Kagero over, he moves out. Counterblast 1, search for a grade 1 in your deck and add to your hand. So good, because Kagero has so much utility in the grade 1 lineup. I'm playing 8 crits, 4 draw, 4 heal, 4 Seal Dragon crits, 2 Tars, 2 Blu-ray Draco Kids, 4 of the Seal Dragon heals, and even if I wasn't playing Seal Dragon, I'd probably just play the Seal Dragon draw trigger. Soul Charge plus 3k to something, very powerful effect. Especially if you need your Dauntless or your... One problem is that if you get locked in your... if you get your Vanguard booster locked, you have to ride Dragonic Overlord The End over this, and it's 11k. You can just Soul Charge this guy and then hitting for 14k. It makes a big difference if they're cross-rided, and if they're not, it's still pretty good. If it doesn't matter, then don't do it, of course. So, yeah. This will be my deck profile. I will not be entering with this in the team tournament. I'll have a different deck up for to be used on the team tournament. So, for those of you who don't know, July 20th, I think? Yeah, July 20th, I'll be at Sakura Media. I believe I said something in the other video, but since this is the Vanguard video, and I said it in the Magic video, I believe, I'll be at the Sakura team tournament. You can come say hi, come play. If you have a team, there is a tier system, so if you don't know, please inquire me on a PM. I'll link you to, or I'll describe it to you, or whatever. And, yeah, that's about it. If you guys want me, because apparently I'm still popular, if you guys want to get something signed, you can feel free to ask. I'll probably bring like a Sharpie or 2 just to sign some things with, because some people actually have asked me to sign things for them, which, you know, it makes me feel very good about myself. But, you know, some people might think I'm just very conceited, that I think that people want me to sign their cards. So, anywho, that'll be it, and see you guys later. Bye.